It looks like they want to keep us stupid.
Hasn't that always been?
Who is they? The government, our government, or the visitors?
Yes, okay, that's another question to you right now, because now we come to the Anunnaki.
Right.
And I would like to ask you about who were the Anunnaki. And it seemed that in the far past of the history of humanity, they also tried to keep us stupid. Is that right, my observation?
Well, yes and no, which is a good answer. No, the Anunnaki, first of all, which is a Sumerian term, literally means those who from heaven to earth came. So people have to understand what it says. And besides the text, which anybody can read in any textbook on Sumerian writings, or go to a museum, the British Museum, the Louvre, wherever, and see the tablets. Besides the text describing why they came and what they did here, I want really to point out, Guido, since this is a television program, so it's a visual thing. There are depictions, pictorial depictions of the Anunnaki, one on Earth, one on Mars, and what to me is definitely a spacecraft. I'll ask at this opportunity the expert Friedman, does this look like a spacecraft?
Could well be.
Could well be.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, okay, he's more definite, and I'm even more definite, and I hope your viewers will form their own opinion. There's no doubt in my mind, and anyone who would read any of my 8 books, because they are filled with actual evidence, not with opinions, that Earth has been visited. Now, when they came here originally, about 450,000 years ago, they came for their own selfish reasons in need of gold. Gold not for coins or medallions or for necklaces. You have something very interesting, by the way. But in order to protect the atmosphere on their own planet, without which they could not have survived. At a certain point, about 300,000 years ago, they decided that they need manpower, they need somebody to do the work for them, and created what the text called Lulu Amelu, a primitive worker, us, through genetic engineering. It was not until after the deluge, after the flood, that they decided that they need men as a partner on Earth, not just as a slave worker, but as a partner. And it is then that they started, as I mentioned before, to give us civilization every 3,600 years. Most of the knowledge that they conveyed to us was considered sacred, secret knowledge. It was not made public, that anybody could watch a program and find out everything. Only certain selected people, some of whom were taken to that planet, which the Sumerians called Nibiru, meaning planet of the crossing. Its symbol was the cross, by the way. They took them to teach them, to give them that secret knowledge. So knowledge, which we now call scientific knowledge, genetic knowledge, the use of metals, societal organization through priests and kings, etc., was very limited. And only at a certain time, was it begun to give this knowledge more publicly through the reading of some of the crucial texts as part of the New Year festivals once a year. So knowledge was considered a secret and a precious item of information. Incidentally, as far as the Anunnaki themselves were concerned, they kept all their knowledge on what the text called Me. In English we write it M-E. Nobody understands what it is, but it is said that, for example, the famous goddess Ishtar, who wanted to make her city a center of civilization, went to the Anunnaki, the god of knowledge, and connived to get out of him 100 of the mess, which are formulas for this knowledge, for that scientific information, for how to build high-rise buildings, how to observe things astronomically. And she carried the whole 100 in one hand. Now, and I fully agree with my colleague here, Friedman, that we understand the Sumerian text, even I understand it, applies to me too, in terms of our present technical knowledge. For example, if there is a depiction from ancient times of two astronauts saluting a rocket ship, if that would have been shown to me 100 years ago, what does it depict? I would have said two bird-like people saluting a very large pencil. And if somebody said, no, it's not a pencil, it's a rocket, I would have said, what's a rocket? So our interpretation of the ancient knowledge is confined within the limits of our own technical knowledge. So now I would say these were computer chips. But maybe in 50 years or 10 years, the way it goes, now somebody say computer chip, there's a micro something. So knowledge was given in tidbits, only to those found worthy of knowing it. And I think that our advances now, which are very rapid, could not have happened unless somebody, the Anunnaki, would have wanted it to happen.